Hello, this is Swarmlord39 from Almost Cool, coming to you with the next section of the Freelancer campaign. So, to be honest, last week, I attempted to record this session 2 more times. And by attempt to record, I mean I hit the record button, went through the entire session, stopped the recording, and looked at the previous recording. First time I found out the entire thing was somehow muted, so there was no sound. But I had unfortunately saved, meaning I had to pull back from a previous autosave and work my way up to where where our last video ended. Yeah. The last autosave was in the middle of the Rhineland Fleet. Yeah. Not the best place to start. Still, I think I managed to get through fairly well, all things considered. So, second time, I pulled it from the save point I'm currently sitting at, aka right now, and I played it all the way through. Had the best run through of some of these missions I have ever had, and then found out it both cut off about halfway, and also decided that it wasn't going to record almost any of the frames. It was more like a slideshow than a video. Long story short, that one had to be scrapped too. So, here we are again, trying for this, and hopefully this time we won't have any recording issues. Especially since I keep working so hard, and last time I already went through my best playthrough ever on one of the missions. And I know this because I didn't use a single shield battery that entire mission. That is a record. So, yeah. Point is, I really should. So, I'm going to point out once again, sorry if I just really sound callous about pointing things out at this point, because I'm trying to point out the exact same thing for the third time. Anyway, I have Class 6 weaponry. I should not be able to buy these. I found these off of what are known as wrecks. I'm keeping that for when I buy at the end of the session, I'll be buying a new ship, and I'll be sticking that on the new ship. So, I'll pull open where I found, like, one of the wrecks here. Right there. In that case, it was a Corsair fighter wreck, and it got me some Corsair guns. I found a Blood Dragon one earlier, and it got me some Blood Dragon guns as well. And yeah. So, I didn't give you the rundown of Kasari last time. So, Kasari is unique in that it has... not only does it have, the usual slew of new criminals and it has presences from the two interstate, interhouse, whatever, criminals, the outcasts and the corsairs. It doesn't have the Junkers, which is a really unusual thing. Junkers are present everywhere else except in Kasari. Instead, they have what are known as the Hagosha, who, if we look on here, they're not my worst enemies yet. But they also have the Farmers Alliance. It's very unusual for there to be two technically legal criminals. They are, for all intents and purposes, they act like criminals. They will fire if they are neutral. They will demand They will randomly demand cargo you're carrying and whatnot. The Hagosha are closer to legal than illegal, because all their enemies are either criminals or basically neutral factions. The Golden Sea, and the Blood Dragons are the criminals here in Kasari. Junkers, well, we've met them occasionally. Junkers are only semi-legal and may as well be criminals. Outcasts and Xenos are criminals. The GMG is the only one that is an officially legal organization, and it only has the vaguest of presence actually in any of the houses. They mostly operate out in the border worlds. The Farmers Alliance is different. They do have enemies of criminals as well, the Blood Dragons, Golden Sea, and the Outcasts. But their main enemies, the ones they generally target, are foreign corporations, non-Kasari corporations, and most specifically synth foods. So they're actually the most likely of the two to get caught up in police chases. Now, Now, last time when I actually saved this, I don't know if you noticed this, but I am currently on. It says right here that the next level requirement is actually a mission. Sorry about the overlap. It's just something about after a certain operating system, the text got really big. I don't know how to fix it. Anyway, so I got the mission after I docked here, meaning that I haven't got any of the communications from Junior or anything. So you guys haven't missed anything yet, other than the usual. You have advanced to level such and such. Meet so and so somewhere. Although that's usually rectified right there. Meet Junie in the Shinagawa Station Bar. So, given the fact that I not only have a full loadout, full ammunition, and some extra money, there is no better time to go than now. So, we're going to head out.
Trent, it took a while, but I finally found what we're looking for. Meet me in the New Tokyo system. It's urgent.
Oh, there's some Hagoshas there. See? They're technically legal, as they're capable of going right by legal corporation stations and whatnot. Anyway, so also to bring you guys up on the news, which is going to play something of a significant role for at least a little while longer. Kasari is on horrible terms with Rhineland at the moment. A person of note by the name of Governor Takagi is currently supposed to be the one who is to do peace talks with the Chancellor of Rhineland. And I don't know if he's actually... This is one of the things that was never made clear in the timeline. I don't know if he has 2 visits, and he's had his first visit already, or if he only has one visit that he's aiming for, and that's what's coming up. It's problem with the news not always matching up with, Oh, we got a little battle going on here. I managed to amass enough money just without actually getting any of the criminal factions in the Kasari systems angry at me. Other than the ones that were already left over, namely the Corsairs. Those guys still hate me. I mean, they hate me the most. Which is really saying something, considering everything else we've gone through. Anyway, so I believe, yep, this is the station we're heading for is right there, so we'll be able to take this mission soon. Oh, and guys, I will warn you ahead of time right now, since I didn't do it the first time. This session will have several longer cutscenes. They are going to be...
Your request to dock is granted. Proceed to dock 1.
They're going to be longer than usual. Because, honestly, the session after this one, once I finally... if this one actually records properly, the one after this one will probably be the last session we have. We are that close to endgame at the moment. So... yeah, so that's where we'll be getting all the multi-minute cutscenes.
You came.
Yeah, I was starting to wonder if we were partners anymore.
I just had to dig a little deeper than I thought. Trent, I heard from Lord Hakira. He says that the Proteus Tome and all of the museum artifacts have now come under the personal control of Governor Takagi. Hakira can't help us.
What do you mean? That's why we came.
You have to understand Kusari customs. Hakira is a lord. His position gives him power, but it also limits him. There's only so much he can do before he violates his station. Anyway, I'm onto something, but you're gonna have to trust me on this one. If we do this, we do it together, understand? Are you in?
This one's one of the major spoiler mission descriptions. Which is, again, why I both hate and love what they do. Because, on the other hand, they tell you exactly what you're getting into. On the other hand, they spoil any sort of build-up. So we are to attack a transport in the nearby Honshu system that is secretly transporting the Proteus Tome to Rhineland. Join Ozu and a Blood Dragon strike force in their attempt to capture the target. The transport is under heavy guard and will be well defended. This mission will be very difficult and a potent combat vessel is highly recommended. Reward is the Proteus Tome. So we're joining up with the criminals on this one.
Why not? I've come this far, haven't I?
Thank you. Ozu, this is Trent, the man I told you about.
Ah, Mr. Trent. Junko speaks highly of you. Please, sit. Thanks. Since Junko's departure to Liberty, many things have changed here. The old ways are dying out as we become more of a melting pot of cultures. Do you understand? I do. The one thing that has not changed is the face of treachery. It is something that we have fought for many generations.
Ozu is a lieutenant in the Blood Dragons, a counter-political group that opposes the Shogun.
The reason the Blood Dragons have survived is because of our ability to adapt and change, to outmaneuver the stronger opponent. This would not be possible without carefully nurtured relationships, Mr. Trent. Which brings me to you. I am told that you and the Order seek a certain artifact.
That's right. The Proteus Tome. It's fallen under the control of Governor Takagi.
Yes, Takagi. He has been acting strangely, even for him, since his return from Rhineland. Our sources now say that there is a secret transport being loaded with these artifacts, bound from Takagi back to the Chancellor. We believe the Proteus Tome is one of those on board.
How much time do we have?
Little. Particularly since Takagi himself may be on that transport.
He's defecting?
We believe so. With an offering to his new lord and master, the Chancellor. Our vendetta with Takagi is an old one. Unfortunately, we may have only this one last opportunity to repay him for his crimes. Mr. Trent, here is what I propose. You and the Order shall have what you desire, if you help rid us of Takagi.
Trent, Takagi is a traitor to his people.
He deserves to die. Do us this service.
Agreed.
Excellent. We leave at once.
So, in Liberty, we were framed for treason. In Kasari, we were actually about to commit treason. Woo! Oh, and I've mentioned this in both the previous videos, but I've always mentioned it at awkward times, so I'm going to go ahead and mention it now. Lore-wise, there are two groups that are considered the best pilots in all the colonies. One of the two are the Corsairs. And the reasoning behind that is that they managed to eke their survival out of becoming pirates, and they've become strong by being pirates, and so therefore the only way they as a group survive is because they are pirates, and so they hone their skills to the best they can. By the way, none of this is reflected in game wise. All enemies pretty much act the same. The other ones that are considered the best pilots in the colonies are... Wow, did they suddenly disappear? No, there they are. Are the Blood Dragons. Which is supposedly why they are still around. I mean, he sort of mentioned it in his speech there, to outmaneuver the stronger opponent. The Blood Dragons are supposed to be some of the best fighter pilots in the colonies, which allows them, at relatively small numbers, to still be such a huge threat to Kasari. So, yeah. So right now we're teaming up with supposedly some of the best fighters in the colonies. Let's do this.
Freelancer Alpha 1-1. This is Shinagawa. You are cleared for launch. Good luck out there.
Mr. Trent, we will take the trade lane from here to the Honshu Gate.
Coordinates received. Trent, take point.
My sources tell me that Takagi's transport is currently docked at the Yukawa shipyard in Honshu. It is heavily guarded. Apparently they are taking additional cargo on board.
Is it the Tome?
That is very possible. Yukawa is a Kishiro base, and Takagi owns a large portion of that organization.
So, if any of you might have noticed, that was actually the space station we started off at. That was... Okay, I'll be honest. Second play from the save point, it was on purpose. But that was because I was basically starting off for where I was on the first playthrough. First playthrough, I literally ended up there by accident.
We are not going through the jump gate, Mr. Trent. Blood Dragon fighters are awaiting us at a nearby jump hole. I'm uploading the coordinates.
Why are we taking a jump hole?
Takagi is a powerful man, Junko. He has spies everywhere. If we want to have a chance to capture the transport, we need to take them by surprise.
We have you in range. Standing by for orders.
Enter formation and follow us to the jump hole.
Entering formation.
Set course for the jump hole.
Only 3 ships?
The Blood Dragons are small in numbers, Junko, but they are the best fighter pilots in the colonies.
Oh, and that number is actually deceiving. We are not having 3 people help us. We're only having 2 of them. One of them hangs back and doesn't show up until after we get the transport. Yeah.
There is the jump hole, Mr. Trent. Please go first. Report.
The transport is still docking with Yukawa, Ozu-sensei, but it looked like they were about to leave. I counted multiple heavy weapon platforms and strong fighter protection. It won't be easy.
We don't have any time to waste. Let's go.
What's our plan?
We have to hit them quickly and decisively. First, we target the weapon platforms, then the fighter escorts.
How do we get to the transport?
We have a strike force positioned on Yukawa that will seize control of the transport. Once we've eliminated the fighters, our people will fly the transport out of there.
Understood.
The nebula will cover us most of the way, but the final approach will be in open space. We will have to fly as fast as possible before the scanners detect us. Every second will count.
Gotta love it. He only mentions it about the time we actually hit open space. Oi. And yeah, you may have noticed, one of the guys did hang behind, as I said.
There is the shipyard. Is everybody ready?
Dragon 1, ready to engage.
Dragon 2, ready.
I'm ready, Ozu.
Our first targets are the weapon platforms. All ships, engage.
Here come the ships.
One of their fighters is down. Engage the other fighters.
Woo! Yep. Normally I engage the fighters first, and then I engage the weapon platform, because, let's face it, the fighters tend to do more damage to... Oddly enough, when it's in regular missions and whatnot, weapon platforms maul me. On the other hand, in missions like this, weapon platforms hardly...
Escort fighter destroyed. Hold on. I have a report from the strike team. They got the Takagi's men off guard and have them pinned down. Got another one.
So, but in campaign missions like this, it's always the actual ships you want to worry about. just for some reason, the platforms...
The first platform is gone.
Quickly, take out the other one. We're taking heavy fire from its turrets. The second platform is down. Ozu to strike team. Operation is a go. All ships take out the escort fighters.
Alrighty, so they have 4 fighters. We're going to take these guys down.
To all ships, the strike team has successfully taken over the transport. Disengage and protect the transport.
Problem is...
Strike team, what is your status?
We lost 2 of our men, Sensei, but it was worth it. The cargo pods are full of gold, diamonds, and thousands of artifacts.
Excellent. Proceed into the nebula.
The biggest problem with that is that disengaging to protect the transport means you still got to deal with the fighters that come after you. So at that point, why disengage until the fighters are dead? Just make sure that you just try to draw them away from the transport or something. Just... You're stupid. Anyway, there is a reason we are going so slowly. That is because for some reason, we are waiting for that guy. Who is several kilometers away. There he is. Once he actually gets close enough, that's when we hit. That's when we start entering cruise mode. But we gotta wait until... For some reason, we wait until he gets information before we take off. Again, I don't know. Game producers did not always have the smartest ideas when it came to, like, the various coding bits. And there we go. Yeah. So, reason we're not going directly into the cloud is because actually there's a research station here that's surrounded by a minefield, and there are 2 kinds of minefields. There are the ones that do slight amount of damage, and there are ones that will literally blow your ship to shreds if you get close to them. No, I'm not kidding. Zone 21 is actually one of those types of minefields, and maybe not later on, but any ship it. But any shoot! I'll wait.
We have to destroy these fighters before we jump.
Understood. Come on, Trent.
Like any Liberty ship with any Liberty shielding and whatnot that gets hit by a mine in Zone 21 is dead. Straight up, no questions asked or anything like that. Just dead.
Proceed to the jump hole. We should be safe now. jump hole to the Chugoku system. Mr. Trent, please go first.
Alrighty. The Chikoku system, one of my favorite systems controlled by criminals. Why? Because if you are in good with the Blood Dragons, you never have to worry about any attacks here. Period.
Identify yourself, or you will be destroyed. This is Lieutenant Ozu. Stand down, patrol. We have captured Takagi's transport and are escorting it back to Kyoto as ordered. Yes, Sensei. We are almost there. Junko, Mr. Trent, follow me.
I have the coordinates. Trent, you take the lead.
They say that, but then they go at the pace of the transport anyway.
Kyoto.
Kyoto? Trent, that's the legendary home of the Blood Dragons. I don't know anyone who's ever seen it. Ozu, you honor us.
The honor is ours.
Also, short of anything of a planet, I believe Kyoto is actually the largest space station, and if it's not, it's at least the largest criminal space station. It's also got a unique design on its doors. I don't think I've seen them anywhere else.
Here we will celebrate our victory over Takagi and Edo. Here you shall receive what you came for. I will see you shortly.
I am also somewhat confident to say that gun is bigger than I am.
Lieutenant Ozu, this is amazing. How long have the Blood Dragons been here in this asteroid?
Several generations. But with Takagi eliminated, the Edo shogunate is weaker, and our victory is near.
Pardon me, Lieutenant.
Excuse me.
Tell me, how long have you known Ozu?
You mean, was he always a radical in the Blood Dragons? No. When I knew him, he was to be a promising political student at the Kusari Academy.
What happened?
People are changed by their world, Trent. Rarely vice versa. Ozu's living proof of that.
Yeah. I'm afraid we have been deceived. This was the right shipment, but we have neither the artifacts nor Takagi. He was not on the transport as we were led to believe. Something has changed.
So what do we do now?
I will make the necessary inquiries. For now, I suggest that you occupy yourselves with whatever diversions we can offer.
Well, I can't just sit here. Maybe the Blood Dragons could use a little help.
Joining the ranks of the radical left?
I'm not on assignment anymore, Trent. I get to see how the other side lives. You know, it wouldn't hurt you to get out there for a while either. Maybe take some missions. From the sound of things, it may be a while. Don't worry. I'll let you know when we hear something.
It's always missions. She always says, earn some cash, take some missions. There's other ways to earn cash.